In August 2010, my brother went missing. This guy was out hunting with his dogs, and his dogs found a skeleton.
You never think that you're going to lose a sibling. You always think that, you're going to grow old together, and you're going to, be in each other's lives. You know how you said you kept crying a lot? That happened to me during the pandemic. Like, it's so funny. That's why I decided to start living with a flatmate. I swear to you, I would just be crying. It just keeps flowing.
Yeah.
My friends will call me, but it's funny. Obviously, I was depressed because of the pandemic, but I think it triggered me because my anxiety was to the roof. I called the ambulance on myself like 3 times because I thought I was dying. I thought I had COVID, So they won't said they're going to ban me, that there's nothing wrong with me. I'm like, there's something wrong with me. Like, when I wake up, like, shit, I think I'm having a stroke.
So it was like panic attacks.
Yeah, I think it was panic attacks, but because I'm an adult now, when I was younger, when I first had panic attacks, I couldn't control it. Even now, I didn't know if I was controlling it, but I think because as an adult, you're more aware of, you're in control. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, as an adult, you're like, okay, I'm not dying. So I guess it was panic attack, actually. It was. I just didn't want to say panic attack because it was worse when I was younger. Yeah. Well, I kept calling the ambulance on myself. So it was panic attack. So I was trying to manage it, but I wasn't thinking this is panic attack. Yeah, so it was panic attack, actually. But I kept crying. My cousin would come. He'll be like, why are you crying? I had to move in with him. And he'll be like, why are you crying? I said, I don't know. Like I said, I need therapy. I know I'm just missing my mom because I wish I could just go to my mom's house. Like, it's just so hard, He was like, oh. And I was like, honestly, don't feel sad. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine, He'll be like, what is wrong? I was like, I promise you, nothing is wrong with me. I just don't know why I keep crying. So I said, okay, let me do therapy again. So I was just trying to say to you, like, oh my God, it feels so refreshing. I like when I meet people, like everything you were experiencing, I could relate to. So yeah, this is so refreshing. You're not alone, girl. Call me when you have one. I'm like, yeah.
I don't cry as much these days, to be honest.
So yeah, how are you? Because you see with Marley, she always says, she likes to say, I don't have empathy. I'm like, really? And I used to believe her. But then when I was like, oh, I'm doing a podcast, she was like, oh, on what? I was like, on grief. She was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, do you know anyone who's experiencing? Because for me, I feel like when I meet people who've gone through grief, I can tell because they're very humble. I wasn't a humble person. Grief humbled me. I can see their softness, but with Marley, she was very hard. Mm-hmm. And even when she talked about her brother, it was not really emotional. She was like, yeah. Oh, she was like, oh, I lost my brother to suicide. Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I did this. Okay, it was a long time ago. Even when she came today, she was like, oh yeah, it was a long time ago. Sweetie, 20 years time, you still be the same. You might feel you know how to control it, but stop. I need you to stop doing that. And then that's when I don't need you. Sorry.
It's her own defense mechanism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why she's like that.
She's like that.
She's trying to protect us. She knows what that, only you know what that pain was like in that waiting period. It's like you're in a waiting room and you're going,
yeah, I can't imagine.
Right, but it was 2 years.
2 years.
Like constant waiting.
Like, let me tell you something that was really effed up. Like, when they found, his bones, all I could think about, like, I was eating a piece of chicken, and then I just could think about, like, this, I don't know, it was like a weird thought of, like, imagining his bones, and I was just looking at the piece of chicken, the bone. It just triggered me, and it gave me just a weird feeling that I just didn't want to eat. Yeah, it was just effed up, weird.
Yeah, that was a triggering factor for you.
Yeah,
that you kind of put the two together, and I can't even imagine what that was like for you. I really can't imagine what it was like.
Yeah.
But when the way you managed it, was your defense mechanisms kicking in? Because you thought, well, you don't want to feel that pain, because if you let those mechanisms down, yeah, you didn't know what to expect or where that was going to go, yeah. And that's what grief does. As I said earlier, grief. People manage grief in different ways. Some people think, oh, exactly what you did, it's fine. But and somebody else may look at it and think, oh, she's okay. Yeah, but actually, I don't show it how you presented yourself today. It's quite clear that it's so very present, And I don't know if you know much about bereavement counselling, but what happens, and I'd hope this gives you some kind of comfort, I really do, both of you, okay, is that even though your loved one is gone, and in the physical, they're no longer here, right? It's like you have a glass, okay, and there's a ball in the middle, yeah, and that ball is your grief. And when you're doing things every day, like you're doing a podcast, or you're doing something, you're going out, you just live around the grief, yeah? But that person that you're grieving for hasn't gone. That person that you're grieving for is still very much there. But you're just living around the grief in this grieving ball that we call, yeah? So the comfort it's supposed to give you is to say that when you're going off and doing other things, don't feel so bad, because they're still there, and you're having to live around it. Yeah. And one thing that I forgot to mention, like, how did I cope? I think what really helped me was that, so my brother went missing 11th of August 2010, and then 12th of August, next day, my niece was born. So we just hold on to my niece as in like a blessing,
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to my niece. No, like seriously, like she brought light where there was darkness, basically.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it's a tough one. Sorry, it's leaving me speechless, to be honest. Well, the topic for today is discussing getting help and suicidal thoughts. I would ask you a quick question. Did your brother, he didn't leave notes, suicidal notes or anything?
No, he never left any suicidal notes, but in 2009, so like 2009 Christmas, and then 6 months before, or 8 months before, August is month 8, right?
Yeah.
So let's say like a few months before, I went to spend Christmas with my family, and he said something, so he was already planning it. And he said in 2010 something will happen, something major will happen, that only this person will find out. Like, he was talking like kind of codes, like he was telling us that something important would happen in 2010 and one specific person would find out. And it turned out that the person that found his bones is the person that he said to us that would be the person that would find out, because he knew that person is a person that goes hunting. So he planned this whole thing.
Wow. Okay.
So he didn't leave any like notes, but he kind of told us.
Yeah.
But you would never think.
Sure.
Because he sometimes would say things that didn't make any sense. So we just took that as another thing that he was saying that didn't really make sense to us.
Yeah. The reason I asked is because on the topic for today, which is getting help and suicidal thoughts, it did mention there's some high risk warnings, and this is taken from the NHS website. Actually, I will leave the link below, and it says a person may be at high risk of attempting suicide if they threaten to hurt or take their own life, talk or write about death, dying, or suicide, actively look for ways to take their own life, such as stockpiling tablets. Also, the other warning signs that may not be okay. When someone is thinking about suicide, their words and action can give you clues that they're at risk of hurting themselves. And the following can be suicidal warning. And so here are some of them. It's talking about suicide, and it talks about suicide, dying, or self-harm, such as, I wish I hadn't been born. If I see you again, I did be better off dead. Looking for a way to end their life, searching for a method or seeking access to medicines / other objects that could be used in suicidal attempts, and preoccupation with death, usually focus on death, dying, or violence, no hope for the future, feelings of helplessness, and being trapped, the belief that things will never get better or change, self-hatred, feeling of worthlessness, guilt, shame, feeling like they're a burden. Yeah, this is it. Do you think there's a lot, to be honest. Saying goodbyes, unusual and unexpected visit or calls from family and friends, withdrawal from others, withdrawing from friends, family, increased isolation socially, desire to be left alone, self-destruction, alcohol use, and a sudden sense of calm. So these are some of the signs that.
Yeah, I think like the sudden sense of calm. Because I asked him like, "Are you okay?" And he said, "I am good."
Sorry.
And that was literally 2 weeks before.
Oh no.
So maybe he, that was probably a sign that I didn't pick up on.
So I think, sometimes, especially Africans, like death by suicide can be a taboo. And some families might not want to share is that it?
No, I never felt any
shame or any.
No.
You shouldn't, as you should.
No.
Yes, of course. Good, that's great. Yeah. Also, the NHS website does state that you might not always be able to spot these signs, and these emotions show up differently in everyone.
Right.
If you notice anything, if you notice any of these signs that I listed earlier in your friends, relative, or loved ones, encourage them to talk about how they're feeling. And also, there's a link that I would add below. That link is a free online 20-minute training about suicide and getting help and talking to suicide. So if you're watching and you're inspired, or anyone who is talking about signs or being cryptic, I guess, you can refer to the website. The link will be attached below. Talking about suicide to wrap. And also, if you have anything else you want to share, but I'll just say this, when my mom passed away, I relocated back to Nigeria. And just because I was running away from her memory here, and I was working in Nigeria, and my friend, she's British American, she relocated as well from the States, and we were living together. I just noticed, so for me, because before my mom died, I was living in a bubble. I thought life was beautiful and amazing. I didn't even know people were crying about depression. I didn't even know people used to be sad. I was always happy and bubbly. So, but she was a new friend, actually, and then we became closer when we started living together in Nigeria. So she cries every minute. While we're out, she keeps crying. I didn't get it because she has a mother and a father. So I'm confused because I'm thinking, what is wrong with you? I didn't know she was depressed because I was going through my own depression and I just lost my mom. But I was younger, so I wasn't really sharing or open with her. But she kept crying. We'd go out clubbing, she'd be crying. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Why are you crying? And she'd be like, And because I used to have panic attacks, I always slept in her room, but she didn't know why because I didn't want to tell her. I'll be like, oh my God, are you home? Okay, I'm coming to sleep with you. Because I was going to ask you, with your panic attacks, could you be by yourself? Because I couldn't. Oh, you could? Like, it was a struggle because mine always happened at night. Once it gets dark, I used to have severe panic. I would Uber literally to my friend's house in London. I'll be like, oh my God, my panic attack has started. And I'll lay next to her. I'm having it, but I feel safe. But yeah, so in Nigeria, I always used to sleep in her room. Sometimes she would let me in, which is so sad. Yeah, like I remember, but she didn't know what I was going through. Like sometimes, because she's going through depression, but I didn't know she was depressed. She would lock me out, and she wasn't being mean, but I was like, Elizabeth, open up, please, let me in. And she wouldn't let me in. And then I would literally go sit with our gate men, and they'll be looking like me, like, and I'll be giving them money just because I wanted to be entertained, you know, and I couldn't sleep, you know. So my gate men, they loved me, but they didn't know that they were even helping me. They just thought, oh, she's so nice. She will sit with us till 2, 3 a.m. They don't know I'm just waiting for daylight so I can go and sleep. You know, even I remember at one time, I went on a date with this guy. And I called and after the day, I said to Elizabeth, where are you? She's like, oh, I'm going to spend the night with the guy she was dating on the mainland. Because in Nigeria, there's the island and there's the mainland. It's like maybe 35 minutes drive. And so she was like, I'm on the mainland. I was like, okay then. So, and this guy wanted me to spend the night with him. And I said no, because we live like down the same street. I said no. So I went to the gate and I thought, shit, she's not coming back home. So I took an Uber and I said, take me to the mainland, which is quite dangerous as well, especially the location where she was at. I was like, take me around there. And I was calling her because she said she might come back. I said, okay, if you're going to come back, I just want to share this story. I'll be quick. Yeah. I was like, if you're going to come back, I'll come and pick you. She's like, okay then. So while I was on my way, risking my life, she said, oh, I decided to stay back. And then one of my other friends lives on the mainland, and I was calling her, she wasn't picking. And she's like, don't come because it's not safe anymore in this area. So the Uber guy said, madam, I beg, you just they drive me about. So it's pidgin English. She was like, you just keep driving. And I said, okay, I'm going to pay you. Don't worry. Like, just keep going. He was like, so now you want to go back to the island? I said, please, like, I'll pay you. He was like, I was having a panic attack in the car. He didn't even know. I was like, I'll pay you. Like, stop it. I'll pay you. I was like, okay. So I was going back on the island. I was thinking, what should I do? Because this grief is so bad, to be honest. I'm just remembering my panic attacks and how I suffered in Nigeria. That's why I had to run. I had to leave Nigeria. I was like, and he was like, okay. And I thought, shit, I can't go home. So I had to call the guy who...
That you said no?
Yes. I had to say, oh, can I come back? He was like, that's weird.
That's because you didn't want to sleep alone?
Yeah. Because it was really bad. I've not slept in my room by myself for a long period. And even when she locks me out, I don't know, that day was just bad. I don't know what was happening. That day was a severe panic attack. And I just couldn't even be at the gate with the gateman. I just needed to be with someone. I thought I was dying, but I just didn't want to die with people, who are not really educated, because usually the driver, the gateman, I just wanted to die in a safe space.
Yeah.
In my head. I had to go back to this stupid guy's house. Sorry. He was thinking, what's wrong with you? And he said, it's okay, you can have a room. I said, no, please, can I sleep on the bed with you? And I was wondering, what is wrong with this girl? I was like, I promise you, I don't even want to have sex with you. He was just thinking, something is off. I was like, no, I just thought I changed my mind. I was pretending in bed. But yeah, that was just one of my worst nightmares. I thought, let me pack my bags and leave this country, because this isn't helping me and my brain. So yeah, I don't know how I got there to that story, but I just thought I'd share this story. But yeah, I think talking about it helps, because my point is, if I shared with my friend, she would have been there for me, and she would have said, oh my God, she didn't even know what was happening. I don't even think she knows this story, to be honest, thinking about it now. Yeah, so...
Well, now she'll know.
Well, yeah, if she knows that she's the one I'm talking about. But yeah, so yes, the link would be below, and NHS website helps with if you have any loved one who's attempting suicide. Also, this said friend, remember I said she kept crying, and one day for the past week she kept saying, oh my God, I'm thinking of killing myself. She literally would tell me, I'd be like, shut up. Like, oh, just shut up, girl. That's what I was doing to her. She would be drinking, we'd be drinking together. She'd be like, she was literally direct telling me. But remember, this was maybe 2015 or so. Mental health wasn't a big thing then. And first of all, we're in Africa. First of all, I didn't even know life was sad or people think of killing themselves because I was living in a bubble with my mom. I just knew I was depressed, and I looked at her like she had parents, so she can't be depressed with me. So I don't know what's wrong with her. So every day she just kept saying, my point is just to say, when people tell you signs, just do something. Because my friend kept telling me every day, and I used to dismiss her directly actually until she attempted suicide. She didn't. Thank God she wasn't successful. She wasn't successful. Great stuff. Yeah, she wasn't successful. So and to wrap, is there anything you want to share? You want to say?
Don't know.
Actually, how are you feeling now? Your mental health, like, are you happy?
Yeah, I think I'm good. In terms of grieving, like, I think I'm okay. But sometimes I'll just be watching a video and then all of a sudden I'm just like in tears. So like, I think I'm okay, but then sometimes it's just one little trigger and it makes me, kind of humbles me, like, as in like, no, you're not actually okay as you think you are. But I think it's part, like, you will never be 100% okay. It's a journey, and you'll forever remember them, you'll forever love them, you'll forever miss them.
Yeah.
But you just learn to live with it without them. And yeah, what you just said just now, that you'd be watching a movie and then you find yourself in tears. So in grieving, you oscillate between the loss and the restoration. So so what you did, so you got the loss. So then you could be, for instance, you were crying. Say you were crying, you do it the other way around, you were crying first. And then you go, I'm going to watch Netflix now. Right? So what you've done is you've gone back to restoration. You oscillate between the two because you can't simultaneously do the same things together. And so they get separated. So what I'm trying to say is that is not to feel bad about it. That, why am I laughing at this comedy? If you're watching a comedy, I shouldn't be laughing. I should be crying for my brother. It's about, you're going to go through that process all the time until you find like I said about the ball and living around. Yeah, you go through that, and that's a natural process of grieving. You will do that, and I'll tell you the same thing. Yeah, but one thing that did kind of stand out for me, before I just say this last thing, is that when you said about your brother, the last thing he said, like, I'm okay, and something about somebody would know, right? It just popped in my head, and I just got this feeling inside that said he wanted his family to know where he was. Mm-hmm. And that was, I would like to believe that was him showing his love.
Oh yeah, because he still left few clues. Yeah,
he wanted you to know where he was.
I do dream about him a lot.
That's good.
And in my dreams, he's always alive.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's great. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you in the world.
Honestly, thank you so much, Marley.
Both of you, actually. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sharing your feelings.
Thank you. Yes. And so I always leave with, most times, with a quote of the day, and this one is about suicide, and it's taken from the Samaritans.
Mm-hmm.
And I will leave the link below. The quote of the day is, suicide may seem like the only way out, but in the end, it's not just you that you're hurting, but those who love and care about you. It takes strength and power, but you are so much stronger than you know, and there's a reason you're still here. Okay? Yeah. And thank you guys for listening. Remember, this is a video and audio podcast. Do not forget to tune in into our next episode. Thank you guys so much, and Andrea, you're amazing.
Well, listen, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Marley, thank you so much. Like, honestly, it takes. I'm happy you
The last time I'm here.
Yeah, thank you. Now we can connect and cry together.